Hello and welcome to the Beyond Shakespeare podcast. This is a special short episode to talk about what we're doing with the podcast over the next few months. I'm Robert Crichton, general host of the Beyond Shakespeare podcast, and we're supported by our many patrons. And one of the benefits of becoming one is you get to vote for the plays we do, and the first vote has just ended. So we have the plays we're going to do this winter into spring. But let's recap. We're just finishing work on our complete John Hayward season. All 7 plays have been given our treatment, with the last 2 plays, A Play of Love and The Play of the Weather, coming out in November. There are also some other plays or playlets coming up, which we will surprise you with every so often. We've also started our exploring workshops, reading through plays, playing around with plays, generally doing stuff with plays, results of which will be posted every week or so, along with our discussions with experts and practitioners about plays and productions. To cap this first phase off, we're doing a couple of fundraising shows on the 1st and 2nd of December, celebrating the work of John Hayward, with readings from his plays and a live performance of The Pardoner and The Friar, which is, frankly, fantastic. Still by far my favourite play, and by far the most theatrical play ever written. I will defend that point. These will be in Bury St Edmunds and Lavendham, which are both in Suffolk, which is where we're based, as we are at heart a regional theatre company pretending to be a podcast. But back to the vote. Our patrons on patreon.com were given the chance to decide what we are doing next. So, over the winter and into the spring, we've actually already started recording. Here's what's coming next. The runaway winner of the vote was The Tragedy of Mariam by Elizabeth Carey. Much to my personal delight and surprise, I did a rehearsed reading of this play about 10 years ago, of which we have a very, very bad archive recording, and so I'm really looking forward to doing it properly. It's a fascinating play and shows the great taste of our patrons. The next chosen play is The Life and Death of Jack Straw by Anonymous. Or, as I like to think of it, the first part of the Richard II trilogy. Hopefully people will vote for Thomas of Woodstock next. Hint, hint. It's a surprisingly short history of the Peasants' Revolt, so we do get to do some revolting peasants. And lastly, 2 comedies. Jack Juggler and Gamma Gurton's Needle. And that's broadly what came out of the first vote. To support these productions, please go to patreon.com, that's patreon.com/Beyond Shakespeare, and pledge just $1 or more. It really makes a difference. And that not only supports what we're doing now, but also makes you eligible for the next vote in some way, shape or form. The amount you give does give you slightly different voting rights. The next vote is currently scheduled to close early January 2019, and voting will run over Christmas. So you can start making decisions as to what plays you want now. But that's not all. We've still got plans to run live recordings of the macro plays in the summer. We're chasing funding for that separate to the patrons, and there will be more live shows like our Discover John Hayward show in the new year. By popular vote, these shows will feature the best of the playwrights Robert Greene, Christopher Marlowe, and John Fletcher. At the moment, we're aiming for a full cast audio adaptation every month or so, with additional recordings nearly every week. This has been a huge commitment for us, and I'd like to thank all our contributors for their time and money for all that has been done so far, and all our lovely actors for giving great performances. If you're listening and you can help, go to our Patreon page today, www.patreon.com/Beyond Shakespeare.